You're listening to Raw Mike Richards on News Talk Saga 960. Now, here's Mike and Dave.
Going to allow Hornswoggle a little retribution. Where there's your mini pterodactyl.
There it is. The little people. And you know what? They're not good people. If you're on Ireland, they're little bastards, these ones. In fact, at one point, this person, he called himself little bastard. Oh, and with Fit Finlay from the north. That is not a very nice duo. But you're in some trouble if they're on the other side of the ring. And Hornswoggle is going to join us here, also known by his real name, Dylan Postal. Good morning, Dylan.
Morning. How are you guys?
Well, you know what? What a kind of cool existence you've had, my friend. This is anytime we talk to wrestlers, and we talk to a lot of them, I've certainly got enough stories hanging around the Hart family for all those years. And I got to think that, of all the things that you could have done in your lifetime, don't you think you kind of made the most out of this thing?
This is I'm still living the dream. That's the craziest part. I couldn't have asked for anything more. That's for sure.
So when you get into this, and people are always want to know, especially myself. So you're a Wisconsin guy originally, correct? Yeah. And so I mean that's an area where generally giant, big farm boys. If you're a Wisconsin Badger, I mean, Wisconsin basketball, they play it almost like the football. I mean, these are people that I was always told that when you get the little butter. Before in some of those diners that if you're in Wisconsin, you just eat the butter pads like they're hors d'oeuvres. You just eat them before. I mean, this is the way of life. And so why would it make in stature? You still kind of live a big lifestyle. So how? I mean, it takes balls to do this. How, Dylan? How do you get into it?
Since I was 4 years old, all I wanted to do was to be a professional wrestler. I had major back surgery when I was 4 that paralyzed me. And and the doctor said, no contact sports and no trampolines, and obviously I'm still not listening to him. But it's all I wanted to do. And in 2003, I started training with a local independent organization, and it was just off to the races there. And then in 2006, I was lucky enough to be hired by WWE.
Well, and because of the lifestyle, and by the way, it's very difficult. I don't know if people understand. Just the travel alone beats up on people, but it's not the easiest lifestyle. But I'm just curious, so people say, okay, we grew up with midget wrestling. I think you were called were you the sexiest midget when you were short stack? I mean, that word midget all of a sudden has become, I don't know if all of a sudden, but over a period of time where there was a disdain, that it was not complimentary. But for someone like yourself who's worked in show business, who's made a very good living at it, what's your feeling on that word? Do you care one way or the other?
I kind of laugh at it because I always say the word midget makes me money. I talk about it in the book, because if you put little person wrestling on a poster or dwarf wrestling, people are like, what is that? It's kind of weird. They know what midget wrestling is. If you don't, when you take yourself so seriously that a word like that upsets you so much, well, then you view yourself on too high of a pedestal, I feel.
Dylan, great to talk to you. David Bastel here. The name of the book, by the way, for everybody listening to the interview, watching worldwide on Twitch, Life is Short and So Am I. It's on ECW Press. We will be tweeting out links throughout the day on that and this interview itself. Your relationship with Dave Finlay, Fit Finlay, as a lot of people know it, still an active member of the training staff at WWE. The chemistry between you guys was remarkable, and the storylines that kind of built off of it. How do you attribute why the two of you gelled so well?
I don't know. I truly don't, and I just, man, I feel so lucky. I think about it a lot. When I do these interviews for the book, I often think, like, man, how did I get so lucky that he took a liking to me, and he really did, and it was quick. It was literally like immediately we were very close. And I text him every Father's Day, Happy Father's Day. And I view him as a father figure to me.
Yeah.
Because he was. He truly, truly was. And I think he views me literally as a son. Still, he not a lot of people know, but he is the person that came up with the idea for me coming back to the Royal Rumble with the women's Royal Rumble match with Zelina Vega. It was his idea. So even to this day, he's still looking out for me, which is absolutely incredible.
Well, that's what good friends do, right? And it's good that you have him and Dave. Some of your storylines that I enjoyed, and when you get put into this stature, I don't know what you're thinking as an entertainer, but when you put into the same storylines, including a Vince McMahon, considering what he's meant to the sport, what went through your mind when they decided to kind of play that portrayal of you being his son, and how long that actually lasted, and to be working with that guy, and further to Vince McMahon, your first meetings with him, because I've met him a couple of times, obviously not at the level that you knew him as or still know him as, intimidating as hell. How do you view that and that storyline itself once it did go through?
I found out at 3:00 that day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was immediately said, all right, get your stuff and go into the ring, and you're going to hide out. And I said, what? Okay. It was incredible, though. I was in the main event segments on Raw with the most powerful man in professional wrestling. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen to anyone, much less a kid from Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
We're in conversation with those that would call him Hornswoggle. I would think your friends are still calling you Dylan. I guess.
Yeah.
Like people got to come up to you, so I'm sure they're obviously not saying Dylan. They're saying Hornswoggle, are they not?
Yeah, and it's with my son, I think it has to be funny to him. I've never really sat down and talked to him about it, about like, hey, how do you feel about this? Like, I don't know if anyone has. But it's just, this is Dad's life. He's been around it his whole life. He's 9 years old. He's been around professional wrestling his whole life. And 2 days ago, I run a training school. He wanted to go to the school, and he goes, all right, let's have a ring day. And I said, sure. And he called, at 9 years old, he called a 6-minute match to me that we did. And he called it from top to bottom. And I said, this is awesome. This is just the coolest thing ever. And he's setting up the ring. He's tearing down the ring. He's selling merchandise, all of it. He's just such a part of the business already, and he loves it. He absolutely loves it.
Well, let me ask you this, because I know that you refer to the luck that you've had in getting the associations that you've had. You talked about working with Finlay, but if it's not lucky, so let's just say he immediately took to you and you became so close. As you said, it's almost like a father figure. So if it goes the other way, let's say there's not that connection, then what happens to Dylan? Well, like not Hornswoggle. What happens to Dylan if you're not as lucky as you know you have been? What happens?
I would be working at Target still.
Yeah.
I always kind of joke. I know two things: wrestling and working at Target, and I was doing it before I wrestled, and literally up until the day before I debuted on TV, I still worked at Target. I don't know. I don't think I'd still be independent wrestling. I don't think so. I think I would have fallen out of it. Because let's be honest, a person of my stature doesn't have an end game. In all reality, of WWE, I got lucky and got that position. And they told me it was going to last 6 months, and somehow I made it last 2 weeks under 10 years.
Well, it is true. And, it's funny you talk about the people of your stature. It also, sort of what we've seen lately, where you have Peter Dinklage, who wasn't in the show necessarily. I mean, originally probably because of his stature, but you look at a guy like Peter Dinklage, he's a leading man. Like if he's on camera, he's the best guy on the camera. And it's not because he's supposed to be odd or small. It's because he's the leading man. And when he was on Game of Thrones, the best and the most gravitating, the most engaging actor is Peter Dinklage.
I've never seen an episode of Game of Thrones, but all I hear is exactly what you said is he just takes over the scene, and not because it's this funny little guy.
Yeah,
it's because he's such an awesome actor, and that's awesome. It's awesome that again that I will say it's cool that society nowadays is giving roles to different. It's not the 6-foot pretty boy all the time that gets these roles. So
now for you, what is life now, Dylan? What does that involve on a daily basis?
Life is awesome. To be honest, man, I love everything I'm doing these days. I'm an independent wrestler, traveling every weekend, different cities every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all over the world. Then I run my own independent company, ACW Wisconsin. You can check us out on Facebook or on Twitter. We went from, coming up on 6 years now, and we went from running 125 people at a small house lodge to running a D-League basketball arena with 2,500 people now 3 times. And it's insane. Been doing that for coming up on 6 years. Been doing running a wrestling school, a training school for 4 years, and then all of that, and being a dad.
Yeah,
the coolest thing ever. That's my favorite part. Is like you just went off to school. You just caught the bus about 45 minutes ago. And it's like, all right, day after school, we have football practice tonight. Right after football practice, I have to pick you up, and we have to go right to training. And then right from training, I have to, get him supper and get him ready for bed. And tomorrow is all over again. Tomorrow we have training, and then we have set up for our show on Friday. I have a local show on Friday, so it's my life's crazy, but I wouldn't change a bit of it. I love it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Dylan, great talking to you. We should remind people the book is available now for pre-order. It comes out officially on September the 10th, I believe. Life is short. Yep. So am I. ECW Press. It's been a pleasure, man. I think we should catch up again around Christmas to see how everything's been a couple months into it, if you're cool with that.
I would love that.
That's awesome. Hey, Dylan, really happy to hear about your life, too. A lot of people, no matter what they do, aren't, it's not the storybook ending that they were hoping for. But, you get to be a dad. You get to continue on with your life. You get to be happy. And at the end of the day, I don't think you can ask for anything more than that.
My friends, the Muppets, said it best. Life is like a movie. Write your own ending.
Bingo.
That is awesome. Hey, Dylan, you take care. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
That is Dylan Postal, also known as Hornswoggle. And as you heard, look, there are a lot of wrestlers who made a lot of money, lived a pretty flashy life, and didn't live to see the riches of what came on the other side. In fact, if you look at by the percentage, Dave, the percentage of those that never got to enjoy post-wrestling is way too high. It is frighteningly high.
Unfortunately, we hear a story, it seems, every couple months of something bad happening to somebody. But
so he came out